It's Friday, November 12th, and it's time for The Talk. Sybil Shepherd is here, outspoken, fearless, and fabulous at 60. Plus, what the mom of 3 says about having 2 lesbian daughters. Then, this woman sued her ex for giving her a sexually transmitted disease. She won $1.5 million. She's here with us for her first television interview. And The Biggest Loser's Jillian Michaels. How to get through the holidays without gaining weight. And see us get whipped into shape. Let's start talking. Welcome to The Talk. On today's show, we have a woman who sued her ex-boyfriend for giving her an STD.
Oh, yeah.
And she won. You guys, I love, you guys don't even know what she won yet, you're cheering. Wait till you hear what she won.
It's like she won.
She won $1.5 million. So it has me wondering if we could sue an ex of ours. Who would it be and why? What would we sue for?
I wonder if I can sue for, like, a guy saying that he had a big pee-pee. Because I think that's false advertising. And I can't work with it. I can't work with it. Some people say they can work with it. I can't work with it.
Leah Remini.
I don't have that problem today, honey.
Your husband Angela is watching at home going,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Say it. I would definitely sue. Back in my wily 21 Jump Street days, way back in the day, I met this guy, and don't get me wrong, God bless him, he was really fine, but his grill was jacked up. His teeth were jacked up.
Oh, yeah, no.
Right? That was the only thing. So we had this conversation. I said, listen, I'll buy you some. He had a few missing from here and back.
I didn't understand.
Oh, sorry, grill, yeah,
jacked
teeth.
up.
His grill was jacked up. His teeth
Okay.
were bad. And so from here back, he was just missing a few, right? So,
where'd you find this guy?
well, he was so cute until he did that broad smile. Then it was like. So, I mean, have you checked what teeth cost? I mean, they are very expensive from here on back. So, you know, I was making a little money on Jump Street. So I said, well, let me break him off a little and get him some teeth. And with the understanding that he was going to pay me back, which he never did to this day. So I'm just saying, you know, you chew because of me. Give me some money.
How much did it set you back?
Oh, in thousands of dollars. I mean, it's a lot of money.
That's love.
Y'all know what
That's
the teeth
love.
cost back there, a little molar from back here, a few molars, and anyway. So yeah, I would sue him for that, but I've moved on. Life is good.
I have, when I was like 18, I have this ex-boyfriend, but I sort of think he could sue me because I was, you know, gonna break up with him actually this very night, and he came over and he's like, I just have something to show you, and he pulled up his shirt and he had a tattoo that said Sarah Forever on his arm. Oh. And I was like,
Twice.
okay, I'm gonna wait a month to break up with this guy.
Ooh, Sarah,
Yeah.
for another couple weeks.
That's cold.
Sarah for now.
Mrs. O, you're awful quiet over there. Who would you, not who,
Yeah.
Would you?
would you
you
sue
and-
an ex?
Well, darlings, it's all so long ago. I just cannot remember. They all kind of merge into one.
There was no life before Ozzy, that is the truth.
None.
There you go.
What would you do if you thought your partner gave you a sexually transmitted disease? This woman, Carly Rossiter, decided to sue. Take a look at this. Carly Rossiter thought she'd found her perfect match when she met Alan, a local dentist, until the day she tested positive for an STD. Carly decided to fight back. She took Alan to court, sued him for giving her HPV, and won. Carly was awarded $1,500,000. For the record, it was found that Evans was negligent in transmitting HPV to Carly and had acted in willful and wanton disregard for her safety. For those of you who don't know HPV, human papillomavirus can lead to cervical cancer. This is Carly's first TV appearance. Please welcome her. Carly, first off, I just want to say how brave you are and what it must have taken for you to put yourself in the limelight so all your peers, everybody knows that you are carrying that virus. It must take such tremendous guts to do that.
Yes, I'm just happy to be able to help. I see this as an opportunity to turn a negative for me into a positive for everyone else. People can learn from what happened to me, and if I can save just one life and prevent people from contracting HPV, then it's all worth it.
And I don't think that enough women know what HPV is, the human papillomavirus. I really don't think that we educate young women to it as much as we should. And doing what you've done, have you had, I know that, you know, I'm here and I know that our whole audience is like, yeah, you did it, you go, girl. But have you had many critics?
There have been critics. My feeling on the critics, though, is that they don't understand what it's like to have been through something as scary as this, and they've never actually stopped to think about what a lie can do to your health. And so, you know, I take the critics, but I think there are far more people in support once they understand what's actually happened.
And before you actually consented to have sex with this person, I read in the court papers that he told you, asked him if he was clean, and he said that he was clean and healthy, and he worked in the medical profession, didn't he? So that kind of gives someone a credibility about them that they would never do anything that was unhealthy, right?
Absolutely. I totally trusted him as my dentist, and, you know, I had gotten to know him. He had been my dentist for several months, and we had spoken extensively. Everything came out about our past as far as I knew. And I thought, you know, I was being responsible by asking him, have you been tested? When's the last time you were with somebody? Like, how do you know that you're clean? Just the same way I wanted to know that I was clean. And, you know, his answers all held up at the time, and I didn't find out until much later that none of those things were true that he had told me. And that's part of the reason why I decided to sue. I felt a lot of responsibility, not just to people in his past, but to women in his future, because, you know, who knows how many more people it would happen to if I didn't stand up and hold him accountable. There's nothing else that could get him to stop.
I'm going to read his statement, and this is Alan's statement. I do not have and have never had any STD. Furthermore, I have never had any sign or symptom of HPV.
Well, it makes me feel, I mean, it's par for the course as far as I'm concerned. I would expect that kind of statement from him, but it makes me really angry because he'll still sit there and say that to the world, even though I know it's not true. He didn't even say that at court. 3 courts upheld this decision. The appellate court came out and said flat out, Alan Evans did show signs and symptoms, and it's just absurd to me that he can say one thing, say another thing, and come back and say something entirely different once again.
You're such a great example for young women out there who, you know, you stood up for yourself, and how dare we all do this to each other and just get away with it, because usually we all just walk the other way. And you absolutely stood your ground and made an example, and you must be really proud of yourself.
I mean, I felt like I didn't have a choice. I felt like I did what I had to do. This is a question of right and wrong to me. You know, people shouldn't do this to each other, and it still, to this day, drives me crazy to think that there are human beings that can do this to other human beings in the world. I mean, this is a matter of life and death. This is a serious thing, not just for women, but for men as well.
Exactly, exactly. And I just have to say again, thank you so much for coming here and setting such a great example for other young women and being so open.
Thank you very much.
So much. Thank you. We will be right back.